Welcome friends, welcome back to the AWS Solution Architect Associate Exam Preparation course. Here we will see all the questions with the real-time use case and we will decode the answer for the AWS certificate exam. So the next question is, your legal company is moving its production state to AWS. They currently have a private cloud platform with VMDK files as their virtual machines. You need to move these files to AWS and create EC2 instances using the VMDK files. Which AWS service would help you achieve this goal? So the options are: Option A, Cloud Migration. Option B, VM Import Export. Option C, VM Migrate. Option D, Data Pipeline. Please select your answer in the next 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the right answer is option B, VM Import Export. VM Import Export is designed to help you do exactly that. Let's move on to the next question for the AWS Solution Architect Associate exam. So the next question is, you are running a Cassandra database that requires access to tens of thousands of low-latency IOPs. What EC2 instance family would best suit your needs? So the options are: Option A, Cluster GPU instances. Option B, High I/O instances. Option C, Dense storage instances. Option D, Memory optimized instances. Please select your answer in the next 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the right answer is option B, High I/O instances. High I/O instances use SSD-based local instance storage to deliver very high, low latency I/O capacity to applications and are optimized for applications that require tens of thousands of IOPs. Let's move on to the next question for the AWS Solution Architect Associate exam. So the next question is, you are creating an application that will leverage EC2 for its web servers. The application data will be stored on the root device volume attached to the EC2 instance. Data on this volume must persist independently of the life of this particular instance. What EC2 volume should you choose? So the options are: Option A, Local Instance Store. Option B, EBS. Option C, Networked Instance Store. Option D, Lambda. Please select your answer in the next 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the right answer is option B, EBS. By using Amazon EBS, data on the root device will persist independently from the lifetime of the instance. Let's move on to the next question for the AWS Solution Architect Associate exam. So the next question is, what is the availability of S3 IA? So the options are: Option A, 99.90%. Option B, 99%. Option C, 99.9999999999%. Option D, 95%. Please select your answer in the next 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the right answer is option A, 99.90%. S3IA is 99.90% available. Do not confuse availability with durability. Let's move on to the next question for the AWS Solution Architect Associate exam. So the next question is, you run a security company that stores highly sensitive PDFs on S3 with versioning enabled. To ensure maximum protection of your objects to protect against accidental deletion, what further security measures should you consider using? So the options are: Option A, set up a cloud watch alarm so that if an object in S3 is deleted, this will trigger an alarm and send an SNS notification to your phone. Option B, use server-side encryption with S3 KMS. Option C, configures the application to use SSL endpoints using the HTTPS protocol. Option D, enable versioning with MFA delete on your S3 bucket. Please select your answer in the next 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the right answer is option D, enable versioning with MFA delete on your S3 bucket. If you enable versioning with MFA delete on your Amazon S3 bucket, two forms of authentication are required to permanently delete a version of an object: your AWS account credentials and a valid 6-digit code and serial number from an authentication device in your physical possession. Let's move on to the next question for the AWS Solution Architect Associate exam. So the next question is, you work for a security company that stores susceptible documents on S3. One of your customers has had a security breach and, as a precaution, they have asked you to remove a sensitive PDF from their S3 bucket. You log into the AWS console using your account and attempt to delete the object. You notice that versioning is turned on. And when you dig a little deeper, you discover that you cannot delete the object. What may be the cause of this? So the options are: Option A, you can never permanently delete an object on S3 after versioning is enabled. Option B, you cannot delete the object because you are not the bucket owner. Option C, you must be logged in as a super user to delete objects. Option D, S3 server-side encryption is preventing you from doing this. Please select your answer in the next 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the right answer is option B, you cannot delete the object because you are not the bucket owner. Only the owner of an Amazon S3 bucket can permanently delete a version. Let's move on to the next question for the AWS Solution Architect Associate exam. So the next question is, true or false? You can use your existing Microsoft Windows Server license with an Amazon EC2 shared tenancy instance. So the options are: Option A, true. Option B, false. Please select your answer in the next 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the right answer is option B, false. A dedicated host is required if you'd like to use your existing Windows Server licenses. Let's move on next question for AWS Solution Architect Associate exam. So the next question is, by default, how many elastic IP addresses are you limited to per region? So the options are option A 5, option B 10, option C 15, option D 20. Please select your answer in the next 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the right answer is option A 5. By default, all accounts are limited to 5 elastic IP addresses per region. Let's move on next question for AWS Solution Architect Associate exam. So the next question is, true or false? EBS snapshots are versioned and you can read an older snapshot to do a point-in-time recovery? So the options are option A true, option B false. Please select your answer in the next 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the right answer is option A true. Each snapshot is given a unique identifier, and customers can create volumes based on any of their existing snapshots. Let's move on next question for AWS Solution Architect Associate exam. So the next question is, you have an extremely high performance compute application that you need to deploy to AWS. You will need extremely low latency network performance to allow node-to-node communication between your EC2 instances. You will also need a minimum network speed of 10 gigabits per second in order for your application to work. How should you deploy your instances? So the options are option A using a private VPC, option B by creating a cluster placement group, option C by deploying in multiple availability zones, option D by using CloudFront to cache static assets so as to increase performance. Please select your answer in the next 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the right answer is option B by creating a cluster placement group. Amazon EC2 cluster placement group functionality allows users to group cluster compute instances in clusters, allowing applications to get the low latency network performance necessary for tightly coupled node-to-node communication typical of many HPC applications.
If you have any question or any doubt, feel free to ask in the comment section below. I will answer you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. Bye and have a nice day.